I am your host, Data T, and this is my channel, The Good Guys. Guys, today's story comes out of Collierville, Tennessee, and the title reads, Shootout in Collierville after 3 masked subjects follow elderly man home, the police say. Now, before we get into this, guys, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, a comment, subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I would appreciate your guys' help in spreading the word. You can hit me on Twitter. I'm on Minds, and I'm even on Truth Social. Okay, so guys, let us begin with today's story.
A shootout in Collierville's neighborhood, and police say it happened when a man defended his 72-year-old father against a group of men who followed him home last night and tried to rob him. Fox 13 Sierra Jordan is live on Five Oaks Lane. Sierra, was anyone hurt?
No, Dominique. Police say the 72-year-old man and his son were both not injured. Now, investigators say it all happened right in this area at Five Oaks Lane around midnight. Now, the community members I spoke with say that violent crime doesn't usually happen in this neighborhood, but last night it did. Collierville investigators say the man was followed home from work by 3 suspects. They were wearing black hoodies and a black Nissan Altima with no tag around 12:30 a.m. Police say as the suspects approached the man, they saw his son waiting for his father in the garage. They say the son got the pistol from his car. That's when police say the suspects started shooting. The son returned fire, and as the men got back in the car, police say he shot the passenger window of the Altima. News about the attempted robbery has a senior citizen community concerned.
Now, check this out. You have your basically retired father, 72 years of age, and he's on his way home. You're in the driveway, and you notice some people that are a little bit dodgy following him. And when I mean dodgy, you got a black vehicle with no tags, and you got some hoods that get out of the vehicle. Thank goodness the son decided to go and grab his gun, his pistol, to protect his father. Now, usually it's the other way around, right? Father protects the son. But in some cases, guys, we know people get old. And we've covered on the channel, even 93 years old can still pick up a firearm and shoot. Okay, not all, but some in their old age can still defend themselves. And this young man, the son, was able to do that. It is quite concerning when you are followed home. You're not very situationally aware of what's going on, and some guys get out to rob you, or worse. It's so concerning, and I think about it all the time, and this is why sometimes some people, believe it or not, will take different routes home, especially when you live in an affluent neighborhood. And I got to tell you, from the pictures that we just saw, this is not a ghetto. This is not an apartment complex. These are a bunch of single-family homes, and these people look like they're living pretty good in a retirement community. Usually retirement is associated with some wealth, no question. And definitely it looks like a wealthy neighborhood. This is probably why they followed him. But the gun, guys, was the equalizer. The man, the son with the firearm, was able to ward these jokers off, shoot the passenger window, and they fled off like a bunch of rats. Okay? And thank goodness he was able to do this. Let us hear the rest of the story.
I don't go out at night anymore because of that. I think something drastic needs to be done. I think there are way too laws that are not making this safe. I think the laws need to be changed. I think, why are people being able to get assault rifles?
Now, in this instance, I believe I agree with her almost everything she said until she got to this part where she talked about the assault rifles. No mention was assault rifles in this video. Okay, we don't know what weapons they were using, if they used any at all. But guys, let's not forget, the reason why they fled is because the good guy had a gun. Okay, so what law are you going to put in place? This is the question that I would ask her. And she seems very nice and sweet and grandma-esque. So I'm not going to berate her, but in this part, I would tell her, Grandma, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay? And the reason why I say it that way is because, gentlemen, we know for a fact that if we get rid of guns, the only people who will have them will be criminals. We know this, okay? Especially if you're subscribed to this channel. So what she is saying in terms of laws, yes, we need to change the laws, meaning we need more guns being able to, so they can get in the hands of responsible citizens. I agree with that, okay? In your neighborhood, stuff like this is going to happen. Even if you have a very peaceful neighborhood, even if you have an elderly neighborhood. I remember, I can't remember the actual story, but there are senior citizens that after their encounter with somebody who was trying to rob them, they've started neighborhood watch groups. They've went out to purchase guns. Okay? And these are the things that you have to do to protect your home, your community. And this is not the answer. To reduce guns? No. Assault rifles? Nobody's talking about assault rifles. There are no assault rifles here in this picture. And there are no such things as assault rifles in the first place. We don't understand that. There's guns, there's rifles, yes. Shotguns, all kinds of stuff like that. But, ma'am, you're wrong on this issue. Let's move on.
Now check out all of the broken glass that's on the ground there from the black Nissan Altima passenger window. Now coming up at 6, you'll hear more from concerned senior citizens in this neighborhood about what happened here at 5 Oaks Lane. Dominique?
Sierra Jordan.
Now, guys, that's the end of that video and what has happened in Tennessee. But I'll tell you what, Tennessee is I'm sure it is a constitutional carry state, so people be able to have their firearm with no permit. I'm not sure on if it's a stand your ground state either, but 3 masked suspects follow you home. What do you do? Imagine you don't have your gun that day. Imagine you're already home and you just saw them. What do you do? And it's a question that everybody should be able to answer. And if you answer, and I will tell you, for right now, if you're not in this position, there's no wrong answer. You can say, hey, well, I'll have to drive around, or I'll have to call my son or call whoever. And I want you to think about that answer. So long as you give an answer, then we can mold that answer and give you a correct one. Okay. So there are wrong answers, but we want you to answer the question. And guys, this is a very real reality that people get followed home all the time. What are you going to do about it? And the son was the one who rose to the good occasion of defending his family, defending his father, honoring thy parents, and he is a good guy. Thank goodness for the son. Thank goodness for the good son. And if there were no good men, And if good men did nothing, there would be no good guys.